Hey guys, Kate Resell here, back at you with another Thrift With Me video, getting towards the end of the year, so Merry Christmas to any of y'all that might celebrate Christmas. And yeah, let's get started with the first thrift store for this video. So this is Purple Cow in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. A Serenity action figure is what I pick up. I thought it might be worth more based on the age of it, but it wasn't. And then the Harry Potter, I'll talk about that way more in the summary, but $7 for that. Did have a lot of damage, as you can see to it. Speak Out. Anytime I see a new sealed board game, I'm going to look it up and try and sell it on Amazon. Now, I paused the camera and then restarted it here with the CDs. I don't really look at those very usually. Unless they're sealed, I'm usually not going to look them up. There are certain ones that are worth a decent amount of money. Obviously, Taylor Swift, the older Taylor Swifts, there's my sandals if you saw those. Very high fashion, I know. I go over to the hats as well. I think I pick up the first hat y'all are actually going to see here, this Saints hat right on top. I just checked and it's actually still listed. That white and black Saints hat is listed for $22 on Mercari, so like probably 18 plus shipping on eBay. I'm going to look at all the hats. They've actually, since this video came out, they moved all the hats to a different section now. But they used to have a bunch of hats here. Sometimes they have it, based on the same kind of hat, like ball cap, baseball cap, and then cowboy hat and whatever kind of hats. I typically don't pick up LSU hats because neither one of those. I will if there's certain brands, but typically people in our area charge more for LSU items than they would for other items. The Masters hat, I think I actually picked that up too. I think that's actually sold. I forgot that I picked up that hat in this video. But the Masters hat probably sold for $20 or $30 if I had to guess. Can't remember for sure, but I don't talk about that in the summary because I forgot that I picked it up. But the other items were the better items. The Harry Potter, the Speak Out, which I'll talk about what it's worth on Amazon in a second, and the Serenity action figure, which is probably, $20 item. But here's the summary of what I picked up. So this is Purple Cow in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I pick up 3 items, might pick up 4. I can't remember if I picked up that hat or not, that black and white New Orleans Saints hat y'all saw. I don't think it's really worth anything other than like maybe 15 to 20. It's a typical hat. I'll pick up a hat if it's worth 15 to 20 just because it's easy to ship, and I usually only pay $1 for them. But the best item I picked up there, still haven't listed it yet because I'm still trying to figure out how I want to list it. It's the Harry Potter thing that y'all saw. It's Harry Potter's Hogwarts School Deluxe Electronic Playset. I can't tell if this is still new, but all the plastic pieces are like flying around in there. But it looks like it's complete, and based on the tape I see, it looks complete, but you can see right here the box is really dented in and damaged, and it's not in the greatest condition. I paid $7 for that Purple Cow. Based on the comps I saw, new in packaging were going for over $150, closer to $200. The only currently listed ones right now are listed for like $200 and $300, and that's new in the packaging. Used probably goes for $50 to $60. So I'm probably looking at more in the middle between like $60 and $150. So maybe around $100 for this thing, hopefully. But yeah, that was the first item I found. The other items was that Serenity toy action figure. I know it is listed 'cause it's upstairs in my inventory, but it hasn't sold yet. And the Speak Out, I actually am sending that in tomorrow. Well, for y'all, it'll be 4 days ago because y'all are seeing this video on Thursday. But on Monday, I sent in an FBA order with that Speak Out board game, and it was new and sealed. And I think y'all actually saw it in a recent Thrift. No, y'all didn't. Y'all saw it in another Thrift With Me then, because I just included that in a Thrift With Me video, I think. But yeah, that one is a separate one. This one, I found this one at this store. I found another one at another store, apparently. But yeah, so not a bad find there. That sells for around $30 on Amazon FBA. So usually for me, I'll send board games and bigger items in to FBA. That way I don't have to fool with finding a box to ship them out. So let's move on to the next thrift store. Back at Goodwill, I pick up 2 plushies. A Among Us plush, which can be pretty good, and then a Pumpkin King, I think it's from Nightmare Before Christmas. Hey, there's the bolo right there. $8 for some Priority Mail medium or regional flat rate boxes. Yeah, that's illegal. If you follow me on Instagram, I actually posted that on my Instagram, like, hey, Goodwill being whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I pass on these big plush. Sometimes the bigger plush can be good, but I don't have the space for them right now. And based on the comps I looked up, they weren't worth picking up. But yeah, if you ever see Goodwill selling Priority Mail, obviously if you're a reseller, if you're a new reseller, you might not know this, you can get those free from USPS.com. Now the regional rate ones you can't get anymore, but you still shouldn't. Goodwill still shouldn't be charging for them. They're free, available from the post office, and if they saw that, they would not be happy about it. Not that they're really going to do anything about it, but it's technically illegal to sell USPS boxes. You should just take them. If you have excess, just take them to the post office and drop them off there. They'll be fine. They'll find a way to get rid of them. But yeah, on this day, all I pick up is those 2 little plushies. Both have already sold, so that's a good thing. Always fun to have plush already be sold. So in a second, I'm going to go over what they sold for and what I paid. I think I paid less than $1 for each one. So at this thrift store, I find some plush, as always. I like to pick up plush. These weren't the greatest ones, especially the first or second one y'all saw. That Pumpkin King, I think it's from Nightmare Before Christmas, sold for $4 plus $4 shipping. I took a best offer of 4 plus 4. I think I paid like 50 cents to $1 for that. So, it's not a bad investment in terms of return, but it did take a while to sell, and it wasn't I try to not do that anymore. The other one, Among Us plush. Among Us is a little, I don't know what it is exactly, I've never seen it, but I've sold it before pretty well. So Among Us, that sold for 26 free shipping and a bundled deal on Mercari. Somebody bought 10 different items on Mercari, so probably more sold for like 20 to 22 when you consider how much it took off for that bundle, because I think they bought 10 items for like $170 something, and that was one of the better items in that bundle. So not a bad find, not a bad sale there to only pay $1. I'll turn that, I like that better than I like the Pumpkin King. So if I can sell a plush for $20 plus and I pay $1 or less, that's a good find, especially whenever it's a small one like that. It won't take up much space, and it didn't take that long to sell. I think it sold right around Halloween time. So that's how long this video's been. That's how long it's been since I recorded this thrift store video. Let's move on to the next one. Here's St. Vincent de Paul. Always gonna pick this up. Cars figures, especially this one. I used this one for the 10 vs. 10 challenge, and it sold within a couple days of posting it on eBay for over almost $70 is what that thing sold for. I'll talk about that more in the summary, but whenever they're only asking $2, I'll take it any day. There's 2 jelly cats right there, but next thing I'm going to show y'all is something I saw when I walked in the store. This Saints jacket. It is G3, I think is the brand. Genuine Sports. Cool New Orleans Saints jacket. It didn't last very long either. I think it sold on Poshmark, actually. Of all platforms, I think that sold on Poshmark within a couple days of me posting it. The jelly cats, I didn't show the price on that one right there, but they were asking $4, which is a little bit much for a plush for me. But jelly cats can usually sell pretty well. Obviously, if y'all have watched my channel for a while, you know I sold a jelly cat for $950. That is a very rare circumstance, and you will probably never actually have that happen to you, but it is possible. So that's why if I ever see a jelly cat and it's cheap, I'm going to pick it up. Now, $4 isn't cheap to me for a plush, but if it's under $1, I'll pick up any jelly cat I can find. So this was St. Vincent de Paul in Baton Rouge, I think. This was a really good thrift store. If you saw those items there, 2 of the 4 have sold, 2 of the 4 have not sold. I just listed 3 of those 4 recently, and I did the 10 vs. 10 challenge. I had that Frank the Tractor from Cars, the movie Cars 1, I believe it came from Cars 1. Throw the comp up right here. He sold for $64.75 plus $5 shipping. So basically he sold for $70, including shipping. And I think he cost like $10 to ship. So I only paid $2 for him if you saw that there. If you can find certain items from the Cars franchise, they can be pretty good money, especially ones like that weren't made for other movies. Like the main characters were made for every single movie. There's been 3 Cars movies made. So a lot of the characters were made for all those movies. But if you find certain ones that weren't made for the other movies, or if you ever heard of the Disney Planes movie, that has a lot of good stuff in it too. So if you see the Planes figures with eyes on them, they're worth money as well. The other 2 items I picked up, 2 of the other items I picked up that I listed with the 10 vs. 10 challenge, I didn't use them for the 10 vs. 10, but I thought I might, so I held them until then, were the 2 jelly cats. This is the reindeer jelly cat. I paid too much for these. $4 each was probably a little too much. This one's listed for like 20 to 25. The Santa, he's listed for like 30 to 40, so he'll probably be worth it eventually once he sells. Unfortunately, right now it is Christmas time and neither one of them sold, so I may have overpriced them, but I think I competitively priced them. They're just not as popular as I thought they were going to be. The other item already sold, that was the Saints jacket right here. That sold on Poshmark for $120. It was like G3 Genuine Sports Saints leather. It was either faux leather or leather. I think it was faux leather actually, but either way, it was a cool jacket. And I saw it the second I walked into the store. It was hanging right there saying buy me, basically. And I picked it up and then I carried it around the store until I got to that point where I started filming for the video. Sometimes whenever I do videos, I try to wait until I have an item before I film because y'all don't want to see me not pick up anything. But yeah, I think that was $10. I think that's what it said, $10.25 or something like that on the tag. And although I don't always like paying that much for clothing, if it's a sports item like that I know is going to sell for good money, I'll definitely pick it up. So yeah, that was a really good store. Already made probably close to $150 in profit, and I still got 2 little jelly cats to go. This is the Goodwill in Gonzales, and look what I find. Onida, silverware, frost. See, that makes it easy. I wish they would do that in every single set. That makes it really easy to identify the set whenever it actually says it on there, when it says what it is. So that is a big set of Onida silverware. That's what I pick up, and that is the best bolo for this video. So I'll talk about it more in the summary, what it sold for, but usually silverware, they only charge, usually it's like 4 or 5 for $1, something like that. So usually it's not very expensive at all for silverware. If you can find the big sets of them like that, they can be worth some big money. Even if it's not Onida, there are some other brands, but usually I'm picking up Onida. That's usually what I pick up. The only brand I really pick up is Onida. Unless I'm going to find sterling silver silverware, which I have found before. Another item I'm always telling y'all to pick up at thrift stores, if you see it, is Onida flatware, especially if it's a big set like this one was. This was the Goodwill in Gonzales. I found this a long time ago. I think it was a total of like 53 pieces. I'll throw the comp up in a second of what it sold for, but I already sold 3 of the pieces individually on Mercari for like 60 or 70. If I have that comp, I will throw it up. I can't remember if I actually still have that comp. Usually Mercari does save them, so I probably still have that comp. And then the other 50 pieces sold for $400 right here. $400 for the rest of them. I listed for like $520, I think it's for $524.99 or something like that is what you're going to see on the screen, but it shows slash through with the best offer accepted. I took $400 for them. I've had them for a while. I thought they might be worth a little bit more than that, but I'll take $400 any day. Whenever I think I paid 25 cents each or something, so that's, $10 max on those. If you can find the right ones, they're worth a ton of money. The plantation set, the Louisiana pattern, well, by set I mean the pattern on the handles of all these things are called different things, and you have to look them up yourself, which is the hard part. So if you ever need help looking them up, just do it yourself, because the chances of someone knowing the exact pattern is very, very low. I found that out quickly, and I posted it in a group, and I was like, hey, does anybody know what this one is? I mean, no one knows, so you just got to look it up yourself usually. But yeah, not a bad find. 2 really good thrift stores in a row. Those were actually somewhat close together. I haven't been sourcing as much as I used to lately. I need to get back into the habit of doing that. I'm slowly working through my death pile though, so I guess that's a good thing. Let's go on to the last store. Back at the Purple Cow once again. I do pick up one item on this video, and I'm about to show it right here. C3PO Angry Bird. If you see Angry Bird plush that aren't actually the Angry Birds, you should probably be looking them up and picking them up. The Star Wars did have a line. There's other lines as well. I don't know what they are exactly, but I know Star Wars had a pretty big line. There's a Princess Leia. There's a couple other ones as well that they made into. I think there might be a Chewbacca one probably. I don't know for sure, but yeah, anytime I can pick up Star Wars themed anything, I'm going to look it up at least to see what it's worth. Usually it's only like 50 cents at this store for a smaller plush, so that's why I picked him up. I go to the clothing, which probably doesn't interest y'all, but sometimes you never know what kind of clothing you're going to find at the thrift store. I don't believe I picked up any on this day, but I found some before. I found a jacket that I think I sold for like $200 at this thrift store before. Usually they do also overprice items at this Purple Cow, unfortunately. For clothing, at least. They have everything else decently priced, but clothing is just, for some reason, really overpriced. This was a long time ago. I'll talk about that in the summary because I don't even have the comp for this sold item anymore. But it's listed on Mercari for $30, or inactive on Mercari for $30, so it probably sold for close to that when you include shipping in there. But yeah, just showing you an overview of the stuff at Purple Cow for that day. So we're back at the Purple Cow again. I only find one item this day, and it is a Star Wars item. This C3PO Angry Birds plush. I think it sold for 25 to 30. I think it's too long ago. I don't think I have the comp anymore for this to show. If I do, I'll throw it right there. I don't think I do, though. It's like a gold 5-inch C3PO Angry Bird. So I think I paid like $1 for that. Usually Purple Cow has their prices set. Medium plush are $1. Large plush are like $2 and up, and small are 50 cents. So that one might have been 50 cents. It was tiny. It was only 5 inches long, if that. So yeah, not a bad find there to close out the video. So that's it, guys. Don't forget to leave a like, comment with your favorite item. Mine would probably be that Frank the Tractor, just because I've found it before, so I knew it was going to be worth money. Either that or the Onida, obviously, for $400. That probably wins because it's the highest value. But yeah, and subscribe if not subscribed. Thanks for watching.